kind of pondering this question because I had a conversation last week with someone who had gone into recovery for alcoholism, and her parents were really concerned that they would say or do something that would cause her to relapse. She never did have a relapse, so that isn't part of her story. But it caused me to think, how many of you who love someone are really kind of hampered by the notion that you could do something or say something that would cause your loved one to relapse? Because it never entered my mind necessarily. I was always on a trajectory of continuing to deliver the message to Sam that no matter what, he was always loved with boundaries. And so I wasn't thinking about if I said something or I did something that would cause him to relapse. And the way that I think about that is that's an outside in framework, which means situations, circumstances have control of us. So if the parents had done something or said something that, quote, caused a relapse, it would have been a circumstance or a situation surrounding Lauren that, quote, caused her to relapse. How I think about it is when we're in recovery, we're doing the inside out work, which means we are changing our surroundings to support our recovery. But I don't know that my parents, my siblings, my friends could have, quote, thrown me off in my own recovery relative to being a loved one that wanted to thrive instead of survive. So I really want you to think about this is where does the agency of decision reside? Is the agency outside of us that our circumstances and our situation actually like we're so vulnerable that we will move and react and morph with what that looks like and how that shows up? Or does our power lie internally with our own agency, our own clarity about who we want to be in these situations? Lauren very much put her stake in the sand or in the ground around being sober. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And so, even with her parents being wonky around her, which they were for quite a while because they weren't communicating this with her, and she was kind of left to wonder what's going on here. And it wasn't until later when they had a conversation that it got revealed that they were walking on eggshells, concerned that they could do or say something that would cause her to relapse. So, as a loved one, I really want you to consider very important to continue to deliver a message to whoever you love that is in recovery, that you love them no matter what with boundaries. And you're going to love them through the ups and downs of relapses. Sam had 12 relapses. And every time I saw it as a step forward instead of a step back. So, and I Although, and honestly, I think there might have there's a couple things I would have changed in how I showed up for him in the early days. Like we were sitting in a car when I had gone up to Washington to see him to take him out to eat. And he was clearly on the fentanyl train at that point. And I was crying and he was crying and I was saying, I just can't lose you. And I know now in retrospect, that absolutely did not help him whatsoever. That just piled on the shame and the guilt and feeling badly. And it was my truth at that moment. And I never, once got clearer about that, I never did that again. So we all have these moments. And I continue to encourage people to reflect on those moments that you have with the person that you love that's in recovery or even when they're in substance use disorder, but particularly when they're in recovery. Love them in their recovery and be really clear. Their recovery is theirs to do. Their recovery is theirs to orchestrate. Their recovery is, in whether it's rehab or whether it's rehab and a group home or a year-long program or in getting a sponsor, going to meetings, 90 and 90 days. All of that is theirs to do. And the worst thing we can do is belittle them, be angry at them, basically continue to tell them that they're worthless, they'll never amount to anything, they won't be able to stay clean and sober. I mean, those are the really mean things, and that was never a part of my situation or Lauren's situation. So think about it. As a loved one, are you thinking that you're going to cause a relapse? If so, I would encourage you to stop and think about that. Love them with boundaries, encourage them in their recovery, and know that their recovery is theirs to do. Their recovery plan is theirs to put together and work. That's the inside out job. Just like our job is also an inside out job. We have to do our own work so that if they relapse, we're still consistently in a good place. We're going to consistently continue to thrive, even if they relapse. So, just some things to consider inside out or outside in. What do you think?